Danny watches a lot of television and movies. John does not. Listen in as she tells him about what she's watching, and he tries to make sense of it all. Welcome to Watching My Stories with Danny and John.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Watching My Stories.
Here we are again some more.
I am Danny.
And I'm John.
And we're back.
Yep.
We're still quarantining. And actually, you guys, just so you're aware, we are actually doing something different today. We are, recording in a different location. We're in our dining room today. And that is because we are testing out video recording and seeing how that's going to go to possibly upload these not just on audio, but also a video.
We might go YouTubing. Woohoo!
I don't know why. It's very scary, but we will see what we do. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a looker, so, you know.
I think we could... I was just about to say, I think we could say that for both of us. That just sounds horrible.
Well, I mean, like my mom would say, I have a face for radio.
Oh, that's awful. Your mother never said that to you.
She kind of did. I believe she was kidding at the time, but, you know, I don't know. It stuck with me.
Okay.
But I've come to terms with it. I'm okay.
Aww.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so we're going to get into it. It's all television this week. And then I also had this idea, and I probably should have told you about it.
Oh, surprise.
Of giving ideas for people of shows to binge, like old shows to binge during this quarantine hole that we're in.
You mean like Miami Vice?
Like what?
Otherwise,
say that one more time.
I did not have a stroke.
Okay.
Otherwise known as Miami Vice.
Oh, if you want to recommend people binging that,
no, it actually
right
doesn't
ahead.
hold up so well.
Yeah,
loved it when I loved it then, but it's not great now. I'm sorry.
We'll
save all that for later.
We'll get to that. So we're gonna do that, and then in our actors corner, I chose Bruce Willis.
You did.
Because I was like, I couldn't believe we hadn't done him yet. So It was interesting. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Television first. The first show I want to talk about is a show called Upload. This was on Amazon Prime, or it is on Amazon Prime. And it just came out last weekend. It stars Robbie Amell. And the girl's name, I wrote down Andy Allo. She was one of the girls from Pitch Perfect 3 in the girl band, Evermoist. Yeah.
Okay. That's
so
kind of me too.
Yeah. Okay.
I did physical labor this morning. I took a shower and it's so humid here. I just can't quite dry off.
He's flapping.
Yeah. I'm a flapper.
Okay. Oh.
Sound effects.
Audio might not sound so great, but
sorry.
Okay. So anyway, and this is a show created by Greg Daniels. He created, The Office and all those sorts of things. And this was really interesting. I talked about it a little bit because I just started it on our last podcast. But it was interesting in that I really enjoyed it. So it was set in 2033, and the premise is that instead of dying, if you can afford to, which most people could, or couldn't, that wasn't right. Most people couldn't.
You okay?
You're distracting me.
I'm sorry.
You're fidgeting.
I just realized I'm slouching. I
know I am too.
Terrible.
And I don't know. We need to raise these.
You know something. What? We'll work on it after this because we're not posting this video anyway.
Right. Okay, so it's set in 2033, and when you die, you can choose to upload your memories and person, and basically your
soul
character, not your soul, just your memories. You can upload to an avatar, and there's this whole electronic world, heaven that's been created, and there are different levels because of how much money you can afford to pay for it, and there are different there are these 2 gig people who can only afford 2 gigs, but once you run out of your 2 gigs, you freeze for the whole month until your next payment and stuff like that. Anyway, so that whole aspect was really interesting. There's a lot of things to talk about with it. On the same hand, there's this romance going on. Or on the other hand.
No, there you go. That's more commonly accepted.
And so on the other hand, it's a almost romantic comedy between this woman, Andy, who works for the company that handles this Lakeview heaven that Robbie Amella's died and gone into.
Okay.
And she controls, everything. And there's also this mystery because some of his memories were weird and broken, and she's never seen that before. And it turns out that maybe he was killed because of what he was doing when he was alive. So it was really cool because there was this mystery, there was this romance. Because she could also go into this heaven as an avatar, so they could be face to face, and
So a little bit of everything.
So it had a little bit of everything, and it was only 10 episodes. They were basically a half hour each. It felt really good. It was really enjoyable. A lot of good characters, a lot of funny characters, and
I like funny characters.
yeah, it was really enjoyable. I'm looking forward to a second season of that. So that is Upload on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
The rest are going to be a lot of shows, network shows that are ending. We have a bunch of network shows that
Are ending.
So these are shows that ended recently that are on networks.
This podcast is not scripted, it turns out.
I just caught a shot of us, and all I can think of is good times.
Oh, yep. Am I Anna Gasteyer?
You can be whoever you want to be. Okay, the next show I'm going to talk about is Good Girls. This is on NBC. I think everyone knows this was the 3rd season. And this one is Christina Hendricks and Retta and I can't believe I just blanked on her name. Anyway, everyone knows Good Girls. This was the 3rd season. They did a great job again. This show is so enjoyable. It's starting to get to that point where I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. Because the first 2 seasons, like, they find themselves getting into so much trouble, and they keep getting themselves out of it. And there's a point where you kind of keep thinking they're not going to be able to get out of this at all.
Right.
And they do. And I've always really enjoyed that. But there was a bit in this season that I was like, okay, we're a little out of control here. It's not really that believable anymore that they can keep getting out of it and out of it. But on the flip side, it's still really good. I love the relationship between the 3 women. I love that they're such close friends. And that they take care of each other and their spouses that have gotten involved and all that sort of stuff. So it's very interesting. I would say this is one of those shows that if you're looking for something to binge during this quarantine time, it's 3 seasons, and I think they only have like 12 or 13 episodes per season. So it's definitely something you could do in a couple weeks' time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched the first 4 or 5.
You did.
Just kind of fell out.
Yeah, you weren't keeping up with it.
Well, not enough time, and there were other shows I really wanted to watch.
Yeah. So that's Good Girls. It's on NBC, so I think even all their it's on demand on NBC. Peacock is coming out in a few, said July.
Peacock?
Yeah, that's going to be NBC's new streaming service. So.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, the next show I want to talk about is Zoeys Extraordinary Playlist.
Oh, boy.
This has been one of those shows that took me by surprise. Of course, it's a musical show, so there was no question that I wasn't going to watch this. And it's, look, we just came off the heels of My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, where they did all original songs, and it was wonderful and lovely.
Right.
That was a great show. So this show comes around, and it's like, oh, they're singing regular songs, like popular songs. And again, that's been hit or miss. Glee got it right. There are some other shows that didn't get that sort of thing right. What they got right about this was the premise was that Zoe was getting an MRI, and an earthquake happened, and after that, she started hearing people singing what she decided to call their heart song. And Jane Levy plays Zoe, and she's so wonderful. She's been great in everything. She was in that show Suburbia, and then she was in the movie Don't Breathe. I mean, you've seen her in a million things.
Oh, okay. That's her.
And so what she's recognized with her neighbor, played by Alex Newell, who was on Glee, that people are singing what they're feeling, and she can see it, and she sees full choreographed numbers. No one else sees it. And so she knows from these heart songs that they're feeling sadness, or they're mourning something, or they're longing for someone to love them, or that sort of thing.
Or joy.
Yeah.
There any good stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yay.
So it's just the way it's done, from the very first episode. Peter Gallagher plays her dad, and he has this disease that basically he's catatonic, but in that first episode, he gets up and sings True Colors to her, and they dance, and it was just a mess. Mary Steenburgen plays her mom. She has a brother whose wife is expecting. And then she goes to work for Lauren Graham. She works with Skylar Astin, and she's got kind of a little romantic love triangle going on at work. And everyone sings. And just when you think that there isn't another talented person, all of a sudden the guy in the cubicle next to her, whatever, starts singing, and he's amazing. And there's so much talent on here, and they chose such wonderful songs. And man, this finale for this show, I was an absolute mess. And I knew I was going to be a mess coming into it.
I can vouch for you. You were bawling, and I kept thinking, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Yeah, it was, so I'm going to spoil it, but if you watch the first episode, you know it's coming. Peter Gallagher's character has this disease. It is a degenerative disease. And so throughout the entire season, we see him get further and further away and further worse off. So by this end episode, we know he's going to die. And it is the most beautiful episode. Mary Steenburgen singing to him. I'm going to cry just remembering it. I've kept it on the DVR because I want to watch it again. The brother went in with his pregnant wife to say his goodbye, and the two of them start singing that Billy Joel lullaby song to each other.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was just amazing. And then and so she gets her moment with him. She dances with him before he dies, again, all imaginative. But then they do this whole one shot take of the funeral, the wake. And during the whole time, people take turns singing Bye Bye American Pie. And it's done in this amazing one shot throughout the whole house. And it's beautiful and wonderful. And I mean, an absolute mess. I think I counted 7 tissues I went through in the one episode. But it was beautiful. I loved it so much.
Maybe that should be your rating system.
How many tissues?
Yeah.
I've done that before. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. This is 7 tissues.
Yeah. So again, I don't know if this is going to get renewed. The networks are coming out kind of with their upfront deals.
What's it on?
NBC.
They got nothing else.
I hope it comes back for a second season. I've really loved this, but there's also that thing where the Peter Gallagher storyline has been really nice. What do you do now that that's over,
Right.
So, but I'm still looking forward to what else they can do. It's still fun. On the other hand, there's a lot of fun stuff going on, and I would recommend binging it. Again, I think this was only 13 or 14 episodes for this season. Okay. So I would go back and on demand and watch it for sure. It's also on Hulu. So that's Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Okay.
Yeah. The next show I want to talk about is All Rise. It's on CBS. Again, a weird show that I didn't think I was going to like. It's not a weird show. It's weird that it's on CBS and I really like it. That's what's weird. This was a new show this season.
You liking a CBS show is kind of strange.
Yeah. So, it's about this attorney or this judge. She's a black female judge in LA County. And it was just about her doing that. Like the first episode was her first day as being a judge. And so we've kind of watched her and her team and all of that and the different cases she goes, and she's very ideological. And so, I really love the things that she was doing and the way she would handle her cases and stuff.
So she's a judgy judge.
I don't understand.
Ideological.
Oh.
It's a creeper.
Moving on. So anyway, the reason I wanted to talk about this was not only because it did keep my interest all season, but the last episode, they actually did a quarantine all video from their homes episode.
Right.
And this is the first show that I've seen, and there could be others. I don't watch everything. But this was the first scripted show I've seen that has done this. All our late night shows have done them, and cooking shows and that sort of stuff. But this was a scripted show, and they continued with their characters. They did it because we're in LA. They said, oh, we're all quarantined. Mm-hmm. They kind of talked about how it was affecting the court system, because all these trials were getting pushed back and people are sitting in jail and people are getting sick and all that sort of stuff. And then they decided to do virtual trials and what that would mean. The defendant has to give up certain rights in order to do that. Obviously, no jury, no right to ever appeal, that sort of stuff. And it was just very interesting. So from everyone's home, they continued their character stories, and then they did do another trial like they do every week. And I just wanted to give them props because it was actually really well done.
Good.
I love seeing that people are getting creative with this sort of stuff, and I really liked they were able to, not every show, you can't do that with Grey's Anatomy. It's not like they can, perform surgery at home or whatever. So,
right.
There's certain shows that aren't going to be able to do that, but this one could, and it turned out really well. Cool. So I wanted to praise that.
Good.
So that's All Rise. It's on CBS. It's not a show that I'm like, oh, go back and binge. It's good. But you could pick it up in the second season if you want. It did get renewed. Yeah.
Oh, good.
CBS has done all of their renewals and cancellations and stuff, which I told you the Unicorn got.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unicorn got renewed. We're very excited.
Happy about that.
All right. The next show that ended, Bless This Mess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So finally John can join in because this is a show we watched together.
Hey, I know this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second season ended.
Yep.
And we got some big news there at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. It's fine.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Use your words.
It just seems like I don't know. It just seems like kind of a easy way out if writers can't come up with a better plot
to
introduce a child.
Yeah. Okay. See, I think it's the opposite. I think it's really hard. There aren't a lot of sitcoms that have had a baby and have done it well. So I think it's the last resort you want to do. That's
sort of what I was getting at. There are other things I would have thought that they might have done. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But I don't know. When I found out, when I figured it was going to be her, the way they did it, the way they introduced it, I figured it was going to be her, and I was mixed.
Let's just say, spoiler alert. Rio turns out that she finds out she's pregnant at the end of the season.
Yes.
And they did it in a really funny way where we weren't sure. There was 3 people that could have been pregnant. And I thought it was going to be her and Lennon Parnham. I thought it was going to be the 2 of them, which I thought would have been really fun to watch the 2 of them be pregnant together. But I guess maybe. Yeah.
Maybe that would make it actually better.
But I think this is going to to be fun too.
Okay. I mean, look, I love the show.
And here's we've talked about it.
I like Lake Bell. I love Dax Shepard now.
But it's the whole ensemble. This is an ensemble show. Is. And they are all so funny. So I think them having her being pregnant, I think could be really funny in that town.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think having a baby with those characters around are going to be really funny.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I just hope that the baby doesn't detract too much from the good mix and chemistry that they have. Like every one of the ensemble characters gets a good amount of screen time, and you get to see them a fair amount.
Right. I think they'll keep the same pattern. I hope so. Yeah.
Look, I love the show. I'll give it a shot.
It's hysterical.
Yeah.
The show is hysterical.
And I had no idea I was such a huge Ed Begley fan. I mean, that guy his delivery is as dry as it gets.
Yeah.
But genius, man.
Yeah.
That guy's just great.
He's so good. They're all good. It's a very, very funny show. If you haven't checked it out, please do, because they're all funny.
They are.
And there's a life there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like the whole town is alive.
Yep.
So that's Bless This Mess. Second season just ended.
Good times.
And the last show I want to talk about is one that I literally just finished right before we sat down here.
Wow.
And that's called Dead to Me. This is on Netflix.
That was Dead to Me?
Yeah.
Interesting. As I was doing what I was doing, I was kind of just peripherally listening. Did not sound... I mean, I knew it was Christina Applegate, but it did not sound like it would have been that show. It's weird.
Okay.
That's my 2 cents.
He's
okay,
seen
you go.
one episode, but it wasn't the show. Kick something. Yeah, so this was the second season, just came out yesterday. I've finished the second season. I love this show. There's so much going on. It's almost impossible to really describe. But the first season, Christina Applegate, who plays Jen, and Linda Cardellini, who plays Judy, they come together because Christina Applegate's husband has been killed, and she thinks she's found a best friend in Judy. They find each other at a grieving group, and chaos ensues. That's all I really want to say, is because I don't want to spoil all of it, because there are a ton of twists. The second season continued it. James Marsden is on. It's really well done. And here, by the end of the second season, the whole point of it is really female friendship, female companionship, having the back of females, females helping females. It's all kind of that. Mm-hmm. And while we can yell and scream and really kick someone out of our house, we're pretty much gonna still love the person and take them back and forgive them, and forgiveness is a big part of the show as well. Forgiving others, forgiving yourself. It's just really well done. And they play polar opposites. Christina Applegate is very bitchy, very tired. And here's the one thing I was thinking of during the show.
Very uptight.
Yeah, well, just bitchy. Just, not nice. Yeah. And the one thing I was thinking of during this show was just after our last show, talking about Afterlife, and how perfect it was that we got the memories of Ricky Gervais's character, so we knew who he was before. Mm-hmm. And with Christina Applegate's character, whose husband just died in the first episode, you wonder, was she always this bitchy, or is she this bitchy because she's pissed and in mourning and all that sort of thing?
Right.
So I don't know. It seems like this was probably always her. But Judy, on the other hand, Linda Cardellini's character, she's this light and trusts everyone and sees the good in everyone.
Right.
And so to see those two types of women come together and really find each other and get each other, is also very lovely to see.
Yeah.
So I really love the show. The second season completely held up. I wasn't sure it could, but now if we need a third season, and again, cliffhanger on the first season, cliffhanger on the second, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. So I'm excited for that. So that's on Netflix, called Dead to Me. Oh, and these two women too, I forgot. Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini, they were both nominated last year for the first season. They are even better in the second season. They are so good. It's so much fun to watch them.
Cool.
So I just needed to touch on that too.
Good. Good luck to them both.
Yes. Good luck. Are we upside down? So that's it as far as new stuff that I've watched. I wanted to then talk about like a quarantine binge list type thing, because we see that most network shows are ending. We know there's going to be a few more streaming shows coming up, but other than that, we're going to be in a huge hole. I don't know if the studios are going to get around to fall shows. They should start taping August-ish. Will they have their stuff together to do that? I don't know. So we might have we could have 6 months of nothing new coming out,
Or shows that are just creatively done to fit the situation.
Right. So what brought this into my head was last night we were watching, we've talked about the Stars in the House, the Seth Rudetsky YouTube show that he's doing twice a day. And he's having a lot of reunions of shows. And he did a White Collar reunion, which I don't know that we've ever talked about on here, but we were huge White Collar fans.
Yes.
I'm a huge White Collar
Yes.
fan. So it was very fun to watch the cast reunite on YouTube. You can go and just search Stars in the House and find that reunion. But I thought they were talking about there were a lot of people who were finding this show during quarantine and were binging it. And I thought, that is a perfect quarantine binge show.
Yes.
Because it's light, but it keeps your attention completely. And you love everyone, and you don't want to stop watching it for sure. I mean, and we had to wait a week in between,
and it's a show that you can there were some long arcs to it, but it's a show you can kind of just step in at any episode and enjoy it,
and that defeats the purpose of binging, but okay.
Well, no, like I said, there were some arc, and binging, you binge because the show is good, right, and so you're gonna continue watching it. You start with the first episode and you just continue watching.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm just talking about binging though. I don't. It's a different thing if like Law and Order, where you can come in and just watch one episode and you don't have to see the whole season or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, White Collar was definitely on my list. That was one. Another was Royal Pains, which is one I've been thinking about rewatching because again, it always came out in the summer, so it always makes me feel summery.
Yep.
And it was just a fun show.
It was good.
Yeah.
For what it was. I don't think it would ever win an Emmy, but for what it was, it was a great show.
It was great. It's highly entertaining.
Good, very entertaining. Good chemistry with the actors.
Yeah.
The actors.
And then what we're actually experiencing right now, John discovered last night that on E, they're airing Las Vegas.
Yep.
If you guys recall, this was, 15 years ago. It was a show with Josh Duhamel and
James Caan
and Molly Sims.
Sims.
And we loved this show. We loved this show so much we moved to Vegas.
Yep.
Which sounds ridiculous, but it was again a very light, very simple kind of show, but it was fun and colorful and a little different with the way they did their shots and stuff. But it was fun. We loved all the characters, and I have tried, it's not streaming anywhere. I've tried to buy it. You can't even buy it anymore. So when he found it last night, we're taping it. I think we're up to 17 episodes that have taped so far today.
That's great.
So again, if you can go and catch it on there right now, start taping Las Vegas and just jump in and watch it. So those were my 3 fun shows to binge. Las Vegas, White Collar, and Royal Pains. There's always sitcoms I can come up with.
Sure.
But then I also thought of 2 more heavier shows that I recommend, which is always going to be Lost. And Lost ended 10 years ago next week. So,
whoa.
Which is just insane to me.
That kind of blows my mind.
Yeah. So it's kind of, I am always watching Lost. Like when I can't find anything, I go back to Hulu and I just pick up the next episode of where I am. But for me, it's one of those great shows, especially binging, because you always want to see what's happening next. And the second show I came up with is Orphan Black. I'm always going to recommend that show too. It's heavy, but it's also captivating, and right now when there's nothing to watch, again, it goes by so fast. Short seasons and so good, just amazingly good. So those are the 2 I came up with for heavier shows. How about you? I know I sprung this on you.
You did, and there's one show. So actually, I've been thinking about this, and there's one show. It's definitely in the heavier category that I've been thinking about, and ironically, I bumped into a story online last night about this is the most binged show right now, The Sopranos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know you won't do it, but I've been thinking about it. I think about it from time to time.
My dad is always watching The Sopranos. It's not that I don't love the show. It was a good show, but it is hard for me to watch a second time. It's just not my... it's not the way I relax. And especially right now, I'm so stressed with everything that's happening. That show, because I feel like it's so real, it's not an escape. Like, Orphan Black is clones, and Lost is this fantasy island thing, and you know what I mean. It's too harsh for me to enjoy. Yeah, but that's a good thing. Yeah, because people love it. So
if you've never seen it before, give it a shot. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. And
it's a fantastic show.
And they just released it on. There's another service HBO has that they just released it on. So,
well, HBO Max comes out on the 27th.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
But it is on HBO Go or HBO Now. It's on
Yeah.
those right now, and you can watch it all.
Yeah, so that gets my vote.
Okay, good. We'll come up with more as we go along, but that's that. Yeah, we're going quick today.
Yeah.
So we are going to jump into the Actors Corner and talk about Bruce Willis.
Yeah, this was... So when you first said Bruce Willis, I was like, boom, done. And I started going through and I'm like, oh my God.
Right. And I said to you, it's harder than you think. And you, no, I got it. Do you like my impression?
I actually don't believe I sound like that. You do. Okay.
Oh, we didn't talk about Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, we didn't.
Oh, we should talk about that real quick.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so Jerry has a new stand-up called 23 Hours to Kill.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. And we watched it. And what'd you think?
Good times. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I'm not disappointed at all that I sat the hour and watched. I did not like it as much as his previous one, but it was good. It was not as really laugh out loud. There weren't as many times that I found myself really laughing out loud. It was chuckling or smiling or smirking a lot, right?
Yeah.
And pulling the age-old, oh, that's so funny, instead of laughing. But I did not like it as much as his previous.
Yeah, I felt a little bit of that in the middle. I felt like he came out strong, and we've seen Jerry live, which is a wonderful experience. If you can get to see him live, definitely check him out. But yeah, it's for me, it's him, and I love him so much. And so I laugh at his delivery. I laugh at everything the way he says and thinks, and
Well,
so
look, Seinfeld has one of the all-time unique deliveries and cadence, and yeah, so it was very comfortable. It's like, okay, these are weird times we're living through right now, and the world is kind of upside down, cattywampus, but here's Seinfeld, so for at least an hour, everything's normal. Yeah. Everything's good. Everything's okay.
Yeah. I agree. It just felt good. And it's definitely still worth checking out.
100%.
I mean,
don't take what I said as not liking it. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Just not as much as his last one. His last one I really liked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So that's Jerry Seinfeld, 23 Hours to Kill.
Yep.
On Netflix.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll get to Bruce Willis in the Actors Corner. You start with movies you love.
Okay, I got it down to 3.
Okay.
And I bet our lists are going to be radically different because he's had a career he's done a lot, right? A broad range of stuff. So it'll be interesting. Die Hard.
Yep, that's on my list. Number one.
Yeah. That was a game-changing movie.
Did you see that they're doing another one called McClane?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I love the first one. Yes. Like you said, game-changing. It's perfect, right? There's nothing wrong with that movie.
And I don't think I hated Die Hard 2.
The second one I didn't love as much. The third one I really enjoyed more with Samuel L. Jackson. Then there's the Live Free Die Hard with Justin Long.
Yeah.
I don't mind that one either. That one was kind of more fun.
Yeah.
And then the Vengeance one was a little too over the top.
I don't think I've seen that.
Okay. So there we have it.
I've seen the others.
Okay.
But
Die Hard, the first one, perfect. Yeah.
Such a classic.
Yeah. Christmas movie.
You can't. Yep. The whole 9/10 yards.
Yes.
His portrayal as Jimmy Tedeschi, the hitman, was
yummy.
Yeah. Yummy. Was
Wormin. I'm sorry. Those movies are so freaking funny. I can
really
quote so much, and it's Kevin Pollak.
It really is.
I mean, that's all him.
There's,
and Matthew Perry.
And Matthew Perry.
Oh God.
Matthew Perry as the street man is hard to beat.
Yeah.
He's so awesome in these, and Kevin Pollak is so awesome in these. Everybody's really great in it.
Yeah.
But those two
Amanda
kind of
Pete, everyone. Yeah.
They're Bruce Willis movies, but but Matthew Perry and,
totally.
and Kevin Pollak steal them.
And I'll tell you what. So I have this under. I like just because I ran out of room. I like 10 better than 9.
Yeah, it's one of the few.
Which is really because 9 is really good.
9 is really good. 10 is.
It's just a little better
I
because
agree.
Jimmy goes a little crazy with his chickens and all that. And it's so funny.
Come on, girls. There's been a tragedy.
Oh, and the stairs, the whole thing of them. Anyway, it's just they're both fantastic.
One of my all-time favorite lines, though, from the first one. Now change your pants. We're going out.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, and my last one is The Fifth Element.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I love that movie.
People do.
Yeah, it's kind of, I guess you could almost call it a cult classic because it's not tremendously mainstream. It's not one of the first ones you hear about from him, but if you like it, you love it. Yeah, I just love it.
As far as I know, everyone who's seen it loves it. I really don't know.
Yeah, and in there are some really good performances because Gary Oldman is the bad guy in this.
I saw a clip the other day. It was on the channel when I turned the TV on.
Yeah.
And he had a southern accent and all that stuff. And I was like, I thought this was set in the future. And for some reason in the future, I guess I was thinking people don't have southern accents. I don't know. But it weirded me out.
The South doesn't exist in the future?
I guess.
Okay. Well,
Anyway. Okay.
So those are my 3 that I got down to.
Okay. So I have, for what I love, Die Hard, obvious for my second choice, Unbreakable. Everyone knows that's one of my top movies of all time. And now I can take that into Glass for Bruce Willis, but that trilogy now is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. And my third movie is probably surprising, but it's Hostage. I know it's such a weird choice, but I actually really love this movie, and I watch it whenever it's on. I just love the tension and the stress of it all. It's so good.
So let me get this straight. You won't watch The Sopranos because it's too stressful.
Right.
But,
yes.
But you love
because this
watching
isn't real. It doesn't feel real to me.
Okay.
And the kids in it are just awful. It's a good movie. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Movies you like.
That's a great line. The kids in this are awful. It's a great movie.
If I'm seeing 6 on your list, we need to put a cap on this.
Well, so I can only do.
Gotta cap your ass.
Hey. Fine, I'll never do it again. Don't cap my ass. I'll go through them quick.
That's not right.
Well, these are like your honorable mentions that you talk about at the end.
That's different than you put them in an honorable mention list.
It still takes the same time to talk about
It's not
them.
about the time. It's just you gotta be decisive.
I'm very indecisive, I think. Fine, I'll do 3 and then talk about 3 later. Okay, much better.
Rolling the eyes.
So, movie or TV series I like. I'm gonna go with Over the Hedge.
I have that on mine.
Yeah, his voice to RJ.
Yeah, the raccoon.
It was great.
First off, it's just a good movie.
Yeah, it really is.
But yeah, his voice was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with The Sixth Sense.
Okay.
That also was, the first time you saw it, if you didn't know a thing about it, the first time you saw it, it was one of those movies where you're gonna remember the first time you saw it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then I'm gonna say Moonlighting.
Okay.
Sybil Shepherd was always one of my favorites.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had a lifelong thing for Sybil Shepherd.
Okay.
And the two of them together, I thought had amazing chemistry.
Oh yeah.
And that show was almost ahead of its time.
How about that?
But it was
in an era where all the shows, Heart to Heart and all those shows were out like that.
Yeah, but
he made it different.
He made it different. They made it different. It wasn't like those other shows. And I just really
Moonlighting's on my list here too.
Yeah.
Because David Addison is one of my favorite characters. It just first off, it was a great ensemble. I loved the show. I didn't like it after they got together. It put a damper on it, but I loved David Addison. I thought he was just so much fun, and that guy that just everything always worked out for him.
Yeah.
And stuff. So it was always fun to watch. So my list then is The Whole Nine and 10 Yards, Over the Hedge, and Moonlighting. So we're kind of going in order.
I thought
here.
we were going to be different, but we're pretty much very similar so far.
All right, movies you hate?
The Story of Us.
Yep, me too.
Him and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Hated that movie.
Oh, I hated that
Awful.
movie. I don't think I finished it. And I certainly watched way more of it than I wanted. Because I got to the point where I'm like, this is a waste of time. I hate what's going on. I hate what's happening. I hate these people. There's nothing here for me.
Yeah, I don't really remember much about it except I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have that, and I also had to put on here just a solidarity Cop Out. The movie wasn't horrible. It wasn't great, but this is the one that Kevin Smith directed, and Bruce Willis kind of made his life a living hell.
Yeah.
And so out of solidarity for my
Yep.
Kevin Smith, I
Sure.
have to just say that.
Yep.
Okay, Secretly Love.
This is going to be controversial. Hudson Hawk.
I may have seen it when it came out, but I couldn't tell you
A
anything
lot
about
of
it.
people will say that's their least favorite.
Okay.
Bruce
yeah,
Willis movie.
I feel like everyone said it was a horrible movie.
I didn't think it was that bad.
He also likes Miami Vice.
I think, the title of this we gave is I Secretly Love. I wouldn't say I love it. I really liked it when a lot of people didn't.
Okay.
And I think that might have been Danny Aiello's first
No idea.
movie. I thought the
Didn't
two
know
of
he
them
was in it.
Yeah, I thought the two of them in it were really good. Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was it on that one?
Yeah.
I have Armageddon. I love the
Secretly.
movie. It's not really a secret.
All right.
Most of these are never secrets.
We'll go out in public and say Hudson Hawk. That's why you keep it secret.
Yeah, that's a different story. I love Armageddon. I know it's hokey and all that, but man, that ending when he forces Ben Affleck back into the ship and he stays there to die, it's a Bruce Willis move, and it's awesome and wonderful. And I thought I was going to have to leave the theater because I was crying so hard. I thought I wasn't going to be able to stay silent or breathe, and I thought I really was just like, I'm gonna have to leave the theater because I was crying so hard. But I still enjoy that movie. And then my second one under Secretly Love, which isn't a secret either, Mortal Thought, Demi Moore and him and I just
I don't
love
think
that.
I don't think I know this movie.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. He's married to the friend, and now I'm blanking on the actress's name. And it's this mystery the whole time of, did the two women, Demi Moore and her, did they kill him together? Did they kill him in self-defense? Did one kill him as a favor to the other who was supposed to kill the other's husband? And it's just this great, it's so 80s. I mean, they're I can't remember if they're in Jersey or Long Island, and they got the hair and the nails and all this stuff. And he's a real jerk in it, but I love the mystery and how it unfolds and gets to the end. It's just fantastic. Yeah.
So I think he dies in this.
Yeah, that's in the very beginning. That's not, yeah.
Oh,
there's
okay.
nothing. That's the whole point of the movie, is figuring out what happened with his death.
Okay.
Okay, Embarrassed you haven't seen?
12 Monkeys.
Oh, you should.
I keep hearing about it.
Yeah.
Talk on the street is it's really, really good.
What street? 168th Street.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, I put Fifth Element. It's not that I'm embarrassed, but I do know a lot of people really, it is a cult type of film, and since I haven't even seen it, it's kind of like, well, that sucks. I can't be in that conversation, but not enough to watch it still.
It's a really interesting movie. It's good. There's good action in it. It's funnier than yeah, I think it ended up funnier than they wanted it to be.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a lot of funny little moments in it. But it's a drama.
Okay.
A lighthearted.
I thought it was
drama.
a sci-fi future.
It is. It's in the same vein as, no, I can't say that. A great podcast moment.
We're
I'm
done.
sorry.
Okay, moving on. Adding to your watch
Wait,
list.
for one of these weekends, I think we should do this. Not that.
We say this every week. I'm like, oh, we're going to watch that. We're going to have a marathon
No,
of that.
I think we should
never
do this.
it.
I think some Sunday we should watch 2 movies. I pick one and force you to watch it, and you pick one and force me to watch it.
Do you really want to? I mean, I'll always choose one that's good, and you'll choose one that's not
Wow. All right.
True. I'm gonna have to sit through Hudson Hawk or something.
No, it'll be Fifth Element.
Well, if I'm looping. If
She turn over, but she just won't start.
I'm not saying that I want to watch it, then that shouldn't be a thing. So like when you go, oh well, I want to see Chaplin. You say that on here, like you want to add that to your watch list. Then that can be in the running. But if I'm saying, like I just said, I'm not embarrassed enough to want to watch it, then you shouldn't feel like you have to make me watch it.
I didn't.
You didn't hear me because he wasn't listening.
Well, I got these big headphones on.
Everybody.
All right.
Okay.
This is devolving into a domestic dispute.
Adding to your watch list.
The Expendables.
Me too.
Really?
I've been wanting to watch the Expendables franchise.
Yeah.
It's probably since the third one came out. And like the problem is at times I could find the second one streaming, but the first one wasn't.
Right.
You know, or something like that.
Right.
And so I've got it, and I want to do it right and start from the beginning. And so I haven't done that.
So my first pass at this, I had the Expendables as Embarrassed and Hostage as the one I'm adding to my watch.
Ooh, let's watch Hostage.
If we can watch The Fifth Element.
So honorable mentions for me. I have Blind Date, obviously. That was such a great movie.
Obviously.
Yeah. That was in the very beginning, and him and Kim Basinger. Oh, good movie. Look Who's Talking. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it's one of those. Last Boy Scout, I loved. I did. Death Becomes Her, one of my favorite. I will always stop and watch if that movie's on.
Sure.
I can't believe neither one of us said Pulp Fiction. I had I struggled with it because I wanted to find a place for it to go, and I just thought I like these other movies of his more than that. Where I mean, he's great in it, and he's got a great part in it, but I don't know.
I thought about it. I actually did, but I didn't think it was big enough. His part was big enough to put that, because Pulp Fiction is Samuel L. Jackson and John. To me. Oh, and you can make a case for Uma Thurman, but
then you're forgetting his entire segment. But
he's got some great scenes in the movie, but I didn't think his part was big enough.
Okay.
That's why I didn't. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Don't beat me.
I'm not. Does it sound like I'm beating you?
Sounds like you're going to
Next
later.
movie I'm going to say honorable mention is North. I know this is a movie that no one ever watched. I loved it. I had it taped on VHS, and I watched it over and over again. He's the narrator of the movie, so of course it didn't make any list for me. But Elijah Wood was a little boy, and he went around the world looking for new parents, because his parents, who were Jason Alexander and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, they didn't admire him enough for what a good kid he was, so he wanted new parents. And I love the movie. Anyway, that was North. 4 Rooms, great movie. 4 different directors in 4 different rooms in a hotel. That's a great one. I had 12 Monkeys. Mad About You, he has a pivotal role in the episode he was in, because it's when their baby was born. Great. It's funny. Sixth Sense, Friends, of course. When he plays Paul and dates Rachel, super funny. And Red, I had a hard time not putting Red on my list too.
I left that one off.
Yeah. So what were the 3 that you were gonna?
Okay, so I think where I left it was Unbreakable.
Yeah.
It was one of those 3. Friends.
Yeah.
And for me, The Jackal.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I know. It's another one that's it's really good. It's him opposite Richard Gere, and Richard Gere plays the Jackal, Bruce Willis, is a contract killer.
Oh.
And
so he's done that in quite a few movies.
Yeah, well, he's good at it. And he's going to pull off a big job in the U.S., but we just don't know what it is. And Richard Gere was his last nemesis that almost did foil his previous thing. He plays a member of the IRA, the Irish Republic. Okay. And Sidney Poitier is in it. So it's just really good.
Good.
And Jack Black gets killed.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, everybody. Well, that's that. A shorter episode this week, which is good. We'll be back in a couple weeks.
Sounds good.
Possibly with an additional YouTube video.
Oh, boy.
We'll see.
Got to have a big 2 weeks.
Yeah. So everyone, even though places are opening up, please stay safe.
Wear your mask.
Please stay home as much as you can. Wear a mask. And that's it. Until then, I'll be watching my stories.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.